has achieved quite a lot in the years it's been on this earth. We've built pyramids, we got the Chinese Wall, we've got 7 antique wonders of the world, and all of that in the span of just a couple of millennia. And basically, that's it. That's our backstory. That's the lore the human race has under its belt. However, as little lore as the human race itself has, we are quite capable of thinking up species, places, entire universes with a much deeper and fulfilling lore than what our human race itself has. Here are just 5 examples of lore that is quite deep and a lot deeper than you would initially expect it to be. At number 5, we find the lore behind the TV series Once Upon a Time. Now, for the people who've watched it, know that there is a lot going on there. And for the people who don't, it's basically a modern adaptation of all fairy tales. I'm not talking about just Andersen or just the Brothers Grimm or just the Disney stuff. No, it covers it all. So think about it. Like all the fairy tales. We got Red Riding Hood, we got Snow White, we got Sleeping Beauty. And those are the classics, sure. But we also got 101 Dalmatians and Frozen in there. I mean, what more can you ask for? Every single fairy tale can be found in the back catalogue of Once Upon a Time. They draw inspiration out of this, and it's just a wonderful series to watch because of it. At number 4, we find the Dark Tower books by Stephen King. Now, the books themselves, they're quite extensive, sure. I mean, there's 7 chapters in it, and an appendix and a story in between. So all in all, you get like 9 books out of it. But here's the catch. Characters from other Stephen King novels appear within the Dark Tower. Now, at the end of book 6, Song of Susanna, there are writer's notes. And these detail Stephen King's journey after he met with the main characters from the Dark Tower books. And it explains how he has woven certain aspects or certain characters from his other novels into the Dark Tower. And this goes over most of his novels and books. And we've got the giant turtle from It, if you have read the book, that is, he's not in the movies. We've got the priest from Salem's Lot. We've got one character from The Strand as well. So yeah, all the books Stephen King ever wrote find a place within the Dark Tower books. And if you know Stephen King's library, you can be pretty sure that it's quite extensive, and you'll find nudges to the Dark Tower in every book in there. At number 3, we find Star Wars. Now, I'm talking about all of Star Wars, both the old canon as well as the new. Since it's been taken over in 2014 by Disney, a lot of the old canon has fallen to the wayside. However, if you look at all the old canon, all new canon, and everything that is still coming out, it's a pretty extensive world. It's a pretty extensive galaxy even. Just recently, we had Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the video game. By the end of the year, we get Star Wars Episode 9 now, Rise of Skywalker. So, the lore, they keep building upon it. Every year there's something new, whether it be in comic book form, in novel form, in movie or in game. All of it is part of the Star Wars expanded universe. Let me tell you, if you really dive into it, and all the history behind Star Wars, you'll find a lot of stuff there. A lot of heroes, a lot of villains, and I think there's something relatable in there for everyone. And that's what earns it the number 3 spot on my list. At number 3, we find World of Warcraft. And most people only think like, oh, it's a video game. I mean, how can a video game have this much lore behind it to earn it the number 2 spot? Well, you don't see everything in the game. World of Warcraft, just as Star Wars, has comic books, has novels, and a lot of backstory there. You get a lot of the stuff from the game, sure, but even if you just look at a normal quest within the World of Warcraft and just read through it all, it's usually just a small page on your screen, it's very detailed, and it is so with a reason. It is because everything the character says, like each of these quest givers, they do have a backstory. They do have something to say about the world or about how they experienced it. And I mean, with, what are we up now, 8-9 races already? These are 8-9 races, each with a capital, each with their own unique people of their race, and each of these people has something to say, has a story behind them. It might just be a little child or a normal farmer talking about his daily routine in that character sheet there, but still, he has something to say. It's part of the lore of the world. It's very extensive and very deep. And our number 1 spot, although I must admit I'm a bit biased on this one, goes to one of my personal favorite lores, Warhammer 40k, or 40,000, however you want to say it. Now, Warhammer 40k is a tabletop game with a very thick rulebook. I mean, seriously, it's massive. But they build an entire world around it. A lot of novels going back from 30k to 40k, and a lot of hero characters, a lot of races, just a lot of history. Just taking a look at only the Emperor of the Imperium faction has a backstory that dates back millions of years. It's said that he's wandered the earth since the earth was there. And you don't get his journey into detail, but you do get in the course of the books and of the extended universe a feel of what he was about, what he was up to during his period on Earth. We got the Horus Heresy series set in 30k instead of 40k, and also in those books we get stuff that's been going on for close to 1,000 years before the 30k millennium, the Horus Heresy, actually happened. We got backstories from the Primarchs, from the legions of the entire Imperium of Men, and it's all woven in there. There's a lot of information just there on the pages. You don't have to go and look for it like you do with Star Wars or with World of Warcraft. No, just open the book and it's right in front of you. And it's great. It is sci-fi and some of the terms may be a bit, what the hell are you talking about? But it is an engrossing story. It really pulls you in, and if you haven't, please pick up the Horus Heresy series. You don't even have to read them in order. I think the first 4 books are actually the events that happen in chronologically, but after that you can just pick up any book and start reading it. And it's just such a beautiful expanded universe. And the Horus Heresy series is still running. Just as in 40k, the main universe there now, everything is still going on. There are still developments of the lore going on at this moment. There are still new books coming out in the 40k universe. Every couple of years we get another rulebook for the board game, and it expands on the lore or it moves the lore a bit further into the future. And it's just wonderful. It keeps expanding, it keeps growing, and miniatures, picking them up, painting them may not be for everyone, but definitely just check out the lore behind it. And for all these reasons, to me, it earns the top spot of this top 5. Now if you liked that video, please leave a thumbs up. If you feel there is a lore that I need to explore, that you think is just awesome and will enrich my life, just let me know down in the comments. As always, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you have, share this video with your friends. It does help us grow, and we are all about growing here. As for now, it's goodbye from me.